Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I'm Tank StarCraft here with a Zerg vs Terran replay analysis. We're going to be looking at the Roach Hydra Viper style against a Bio Mech Terran. And we're going to be looking at mistakes with consequences, obviously. Looking at the mistakes, seeing what results from them. But also going to be looking for points of improvement, but also just like ways to win the game, you know, the path to victory, I call it. Let's see how I could have won this game and where things really went wrong. We'll speed through the opening because it was all fairly standard. We'll just 8x this. All good, all good. Yep. Reaper expand, didn't kill any workers. And it shouldn't. Didn't even kill the creep tumor. We're in good shape. Droned up to saturation by about 6 minutes, which is where we want. We'll never lose that. There's the lair. Additional gases. Fourth gas could be a bit earlier. Messed up my wall a little, but that's fine. +1. Roaches. Roach production. Gonna get that third as soon as possible. All good. Hydra den in case of banshees. He went a few more Hellions than most players do. Yeah, and see, this is why one of the reasons why I like to open with this Roach style is sometimes they get a misread. They think I'm going for the big push, when in fact my time to push is going to be when he's taking his third. So I'm already starting to drone up that third. I want to hit the 3 base saturation by 11. That's my benchmark. I'm going to start my Hydra upgrades around the time I start +2, so they time out nice. +2 is actually a bit late to get started this game. There we go. And yeah, 11 minutes, fully saturated with the 5 gas. Could maybe take the last one soon. Infestation pit around now, I don't mind it. How much does it cost to get the hive? 150? I am a bit gas starved this game. So I'm thinking, in addition to getting the 4th gas a little earlier, or actually this 4th gas a little earlier, but also this 6th gas a little earlier, those 2 tweaks, and maybe, just maybe, delaying the infestation pit a bit. Something I'll look into. So that I can hit a timing with more roaches. So I'm feeling really good right now. Like, yeah, he's got the nice production, nice 2 base Terran production, but I'm fully saturated on 3 base. I know he doesn't have a third. So I'm feeling like I'm in a good spot. He goes for this drop. Did he go for a double? Double drop. I'm surprised I didn't see this. My Overlord speed's done though, so he shouldn't really be killing too many Overlords. And he's just going to boost right in. And luckily I have the Spore right there. Units positioned. Are they seriously positioned there? This is something I've been doing a lot, is positioning my units at the natural. And I don't understand why. There's no reason for them to be there. Some of them should be in the main, even just 6. And then the rest should be at the third. So already this is throwing me off my game when it doesn't need to. I could just have better unit positioning. The Spore is a bit better placed though. So these units, you know, push it away, no problem. I was feeling great at this stage in the game because in my last, like my very first mistakes with consequences series, I didn't place the Spore correctly and these drops just kept punishing me. So I'm glad I did that. That's good. It did mess up my production a little bit, and I think, again, over on the left I needed some units too. So that's something I'm going to be aware of moving forward, is if I have my units split between the main and the third, no damage that he can do, and it's going to make my time management a lot better. I can focus on macro and other things. Having an Overlord spew and creep here, stuff like that. So he gets his third up, excuse me, at 13 minutes, very late. I should be punishing this, and I do. I know right now I have the income advantage, even with the mules. I'm fully saturated on 3 base, even a couple extra. But here we go again. I keep doing this, going down this really narrow slope. Not a good spot to engage. I think in the future what I'm going to do is push right up straight, break through these rocks, and have this big wide open concave. That's what I'm doing from now on. I am never in my life going over this thing again. It has haunted me, these last replay analysis. So I can just imagine, as I take this fight, taking a much better one over here. So what I'm doing here is just baiting some stim and pulling back. I think that's fine. I'm staying in range of the tanks too long. If I had just been fighting the bio and baiting stims and wasting his energy, I think it would have been better. Again, yeah, a little too much. A little too much engagement. These tanks, 10 kills on that one, that's too much. So finally, I'm like, Jesus effing Christ, I'm going to go over here and break these rocks. And try to get an engagement. And this is really my opportunity. He doesn't even have another CC, so I'm going to go try to kill his third. All kinds of area to abuse here with my mobile army. Not really wanting to push into the tank line. More comfortable fighting here. And now is my time. His army's all down here. I'm going to go for this command center. Oh, man. He's basically all in. I did not identify quite how all in he was once I killed this command center. I was thinking, like, I've won the game, essentially, is what I was thinking. So took that out. He doesn't even have another one started. And I think I just decided to pull back and get a good engagement with the Vipers. Unfortunately, this drop really messes me up. I'm thinking for the future, once I have the Spore positioned here, he's only going to get fooled by it once. So maybe I should just position it over to the left after, if I remember. Just a little mind game, a little meta stuff. And then, yeah, I guess maybe could have seen it with an Overlord if I were a little more paying attention. I was just focusing on the fight. Because this really, really messed me up. Mostly because it killed the Queen. So if I were, you know, a little quicker to spot this, I would have just boxed, like, Queen and drones alike, and got the heck out of dodge. Yeah, he's just gonna do a big doom push soon. And I think I lose my Vipers. Stupidly. Again. Like, the Vipers are the real key to dealing with this big all-in he's planning. Where is his medevac now? Where'd that guy go? Oh, right here. Yeah, so now he's going to go in over here, and I figured he would. I started the Spore, but it's not going to finish in time. I'm being a little too aggressive, I guess I would call it, with my army. I think this is another period in the game where I should be splitting, like 6 units over here, 8 units in the main, and then the rest at the front. And that's going to help me deal with this a lot better. I didn't even know he was pushing with his big death ball. I saw that he didn't have a third. I thought, oh, I won. I'm in good shape. I'm maxed out. How can he win? Snag that medevac. Make sure it dies. Oh, but he kills both, right? Look at that, too. Oh, it hurts. This is sometimes why I don't do replay analysis, because it can be really painful. If those Vipers alive, the blinding clouds on this army with my big Roach Hydra force just mutilates him. So again, I'm suffering the consequences of not positioning my army defensively to deal with these multi-pronged attacks, because I know as a Zerg player, I'm at the point where I'm playing the caliber of Terran players that they're going to do this almost every time, and I just have to have a response for it. I gotta be better, because he gets this really nice engagement here, partly because of the blinding clouds like I talked about, but also because I was funneling my units through this again. I had too many units in the main. If I had a little more foresight, kept those 6 units there, then most of my army's sitting here waiting for him. And he's taking an engagement up creep, up a ramp, and I'm getting this nice concave, and I'm just eating his units for breakfast. But instead, I'm funneling in slowly. Look at the engagement. This is actually where I realized I lost the game, was I saw how much army he had, and I saw the positioning. My Roaches were in the back, my Hydras were in the front, and I was totally scrambled, and it cost me the game. Look at the supply. And yeah, I have this big bank, but I can't spend it because he's going to come in here and kill my Queen and mess up my macro again. Ugh. Blinding clouds, man. They would have helped. I even have the upgrade advantage, about that +3. Oh, so that big push evens it up, I would say. Maybe even puts him a bit ahead. And finally he's getting his third up. Again. But I needed to kill this army. Once I did, it would have been over. I do set up a nice concave there, but again, 18 and a half minutes into the game, but I don't have Blinding Cloud. I don't have Vipers. There's absolutely no excuse for losing the Vipers to a single drop like that. Just sloppy play. Yeah, nice concave, killing a lot of stuff, keeping it about even. 2 Blinding Clouds turn that into a completely one-sided engagement. Oh, there we go. Finally, the Viper comes out. And, like, it's not over at this point. Like, his main and natural are basically mined out, and he's essentially going to be on one base, and you can see he's quite starved. But I'm just not able to use my money. Like, he messed me up in the main and messed up my gases quite a bit, killed my 4th, which I needed for additional gas, and I just haven't been hitting the injects. Look at the queen energy in this game. Ugh. More foresight, better positioning in defense of drops. Finally get the first useful Vipers out. Gonna snag that tank. Yeah. I don't want to push down like that. No, too many tanks. Wow, he's got 5 tanks. 6 tanks. This is actually okay. He's gonna get 1 tank, 2 tanks. Blinding Cloud on a 3rd. 4 tanks. It's just not enough army. If I had, like, how much supply is this worth of units? If I were up to 160 supply with Roach Hydra, I'd just steamroll it, but I couldn't spend my money. Couldn't do it. And I'm building Hydra still. I think they should be Roaches given how starved I am. I have the upgrade advantage, 3-2 against 2-1. He's just now going to get +3. More Vipers. Dying. Oh, God. The thing, too, is taking a bunch of damage on the Vipers isn't a big deal. You can use this queen energy to keep them alive. Damn. Yeah, one of the comments in chat was, maybe could have had spines. That's not a bad idea. Maybe like a spine or 2 here, and a spine or 2 here. Like, maybe, yeah, I guess I could do that. Like, if I'm oversaturating my 3rd a little bit, you know, 5, 6 extra drones, I can take those without cutting into my 3-base saturation, and just try to time them so that when they're done, like the 2 spines and 1 spore, maybe, per base, that's around the time I'm pushing out with my Roach Hydra. And before that, I just keep some units in the main and at the 3rd. Might consider some spines. And I say GJK, which just means good job. I say good job at the end of the games instead of GG usually. It's just what I do. Okay, so a little bit frustrating, obviously, that game. I feel like I had a great edge. I feel like I should have won. But I made some crucial mistakes, and they cost me. So, identifying the points of improvement, identifying the path to victory. This is not the friggin' path to victory. This is the path to suiciding a lot of Roaches and Hydras. I'm going to ping it. I'm going to do a box. I'm never going to go down that ramp again. I hate it. So I need to come down this side, get a wider engagement, make sure all my units can attack, stuff like that. Early defense. Need to be positioning units in the main. Maybe some static defense too around the time I'm pushing out, so that I can deal with drops in the main a little bit better. That is absolutely a recurring theme, is drops in the main doing a bit too much. Everything else was okay. I think I need to be a little more careful about how I spend my resources. If I'm gas starved, I should be switching into Roaches a bit earlier. And for Christ's sake, I gotta keep my Vipers alive. I gotta stop losing them in situations like that. Just gotta keep him in safer spots. But I know I can beat this guy, and I will beat him if I play him again. So that's okay.